Looks like we're gonna. Oh, we do. We got 20. We got a full grid. Okay, good stuff. But we are live, by the way. So stay off the f bombs if you can. Okay, it's Valentine, right? Not Valentin. Okay, see, I've said that. I've stumbled over from time to time. Yeah, yeah. Even when I had you in my party on Wednesday, I completely forgot to ask as well. But that's good to know. But anywho, we are about to get underway here. It is Friday night. It's a multiplayer series. I am, of course, Crash McQueen, and tonight you can hear another voice in the broadcast, and that be Valentine 94. So won't you say hello, Valentine? There we go. Exactly that. We seems to be getting a little bit of guest action on the Fridays back, which is good. I haven't really been searching out for any lately, and it just took you as well as Smith Pell to kind of slide into my DMs and request coming up, which I, of course, not gonna deny the opportunity to have a fellow Midwest F1 driver. I don't want to say fellow, I guess, a Midwest F1 driver, because I ain't no driver, that's for sure. I haven't touched. Yeah, I know. Now I air quotes reserve in every league, but it just never happens for me to actually get the proper opportunity. So I mean, it is what it is. But maybe some point in the next season. No more Donkey Kong car tonight. Oh, Monkey Mafia changed his car. Valentine. Can you hear? Why is that? I believe. I'm just making sure JC Blackley's in stream. He'll let me know real quick here. Hopefully so. Do you hear the news? I'm in. No, no, you can't. Oh. Ooh. Oh Jesus! No, the microphone is fine. Microphone's not the problem. Little louder. Little. But yeah, that's fine. Okay. It's just share. Yeah, okay, so go press share, and then I think it's audio settings or share options or something like that. Ooh, it looks like we're getting, yeah, it looks like we're getting wet weather here in Britain. Yeah, and then audio, I think it is the next one. Yeah, just uncheck them, then recheck them. Then, actually here, let me make sure that my party settings are on share because this is a different party. Shoot, I need to do this before the race goes. Party settings. Allow chat audio. Adjust prioritize. Allow your voice to be. Okay, I think it might have been on my end. Okay, but we're about to go live, so I'll take it away for now, and then hopefully JC can let me know if that you're able to be heard. But rain here in Britain. Monkey Mafia's got the lead, as he said earlier, as I said earlier. No Donkey Kong car, so he's got second place actually is Random Series takes it into turn 1. Then into turn 2 we got Kenny coming around the outside and takes a position away. JC Blackley fighting in behind as well, trying to get in front of Monkey Mafia. Looks like he's just about to, but Monkey's able to pinch him out in to the next turn, and JC slots in behind and tries to go into a switchback there, and is going to stick back into 4th place. We'll drop down the field and see what ZGS is doing. It's actually Jinnit Twinnit who gets a little bit too heavy on the throttle and he's into the wall. Elmo Jacko moves up into 10th place, and everyone else moves up a spot as well. But it looks like Uncle Ben's Rice is going to try and work on Jacko. Jacko goes a little bit too deep and brings Uncle Ben a little bit into that picture, but he's able to defend. Jacko is. And now we've started the conga line. Oh, and actually it's Uncle Ben getting a little bit too heavy on the throttle as well and losing position on track as well as a spot. So it is Impossible Bacon. ZGS getting an overtake. There we go. Okay, now we're all settled down here. Alright, see if you can say something. I'll try and... I'll check. Making sure. Oh, young DJ goes off a little bit, and now he's on the outside line of Impossible Bacon, but they do a little bit of a switch side by side through the turn, and it looks like DJ's going to take away with the position right now. What is going on here? Why aren't the party... I'm losing it right now. Do a little bit of talking. I'm trying to figure out... I think it's because this is a... Yeah. That's not... It's the party or something. Sorry to the stream right now, but I need to go in here and fix this. Here, you know what we're gonna... Here, we're gonna do this. I don't know, a party. That does work. Okay, I'm sending you a friend request. I'm gonna leave...
Now, I just, apparently I would allow your voice to be shared was do not allow, so I just put that on, see if that
Oh, that
anything.
should be it. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'll pull it up on my phone here.
Okay, are we good now?
Should be.
Everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're Gucci. There we go.
Awesome. Oh,
now we can hear you.
Probably should get our eyes back on the action here as Kaz, he took a little bit of a spin, trying to fight with Impossible Bacon for that P5 up there.
Kenny's actually really opened himself up a gap here, and it's Impossible Bacon trying to work on Hotspot for 4th place. Kenny is nearly 3 seconds ahead of Monkey Mafia for 2nd, and JC is the 3rd spot on the podium, a 2.5 back, as well as he's nearly 3 seconds ahead of Hotspot, so that front 3 has kind of separated themselves from the rest of the pack, and the rest of the pack is all very tight from 5th all the way down, even to 15th that you could say, because only a second separates ZGS and Hash, so a lot of that midfield is staying really close early on here. But okay, we got Valentine in the booth. I'm Crash McQueen. This is Midwest F1 League Friday series. We are in Britain, as you can plainly see, followed by Vietnam after this. All right, Valentine, introduce yourself. How'd you find the Midwest F1 League, and what division are you in currently?
I actually just made the move up to Division 3 from Division 4 after yesterday's very fun wet/dry race at Russia. I spoke with my teammate Chunky Corgi. He agreed that he would allow me to kind of take his, and he would make the move down to Division 4. So kind of nice to take a break from the wet conditions that we've apparently got so far this weekend, and stay nice and dry with you in the booth.
Yeah, exactly that. So how'd you end up finding the Midwest F1 League? Was it through a friend, or was it through one of the ads I guess we put out?
Yeah, I posted an ad on one of the F1 groups I'm in on Facebook, and I believe it was Pork Chops. He's the one that extended me the invite, and I made my first sub at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I think for week 9 was it?
Oh yeah, that
It
was
was a
1 week
3
ago.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got really lucky. That was my first ever league race. Period. I'd never done this before in the F1 game, so I was really glad to come out with P2. Had an amazing battle with Hash there at the end to get that P2 away from him.
Did you end up bow tassing him? You know where you swipe it on the last straight.
No, not in the last straight. I got him right before the castle section, actually.
Oh, okay. So bow tassing someone is, especially at Azerbaijan, is Lance Stroll was on for his first second place finish in Formula One, and then in that last final straight in Baku, Valtteri Bottas overtook him in the straight to take away second place from him. He ended up getting a podium still.
That's right. I do vaguely remember watching that highlight race. I do remember that. Yeah. Okay, I got you. No, I got him right before the castle section.
There you go.
Didn't need that straight. He almost got me. He almost Bottas me though. I think he was only 1/10 away from me by the time we got back to the line.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, Hash is a pretty solid driver. He's been in it for a little while now. He has his days where he's really quick, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He was really quick that day. I had to push pretty hard for several laps in a row just to catch up to him, but overtaking him was a whole different story. I really had to work for it, be patient, and I'm just glad I was able to pull it off cleanly, and we both made it to the line, no DNF that day.
There you go. Especially at Baku with the castle section, it can be a little hairy going through there from time to time.
Yeah, and speaking of Hash, though, I think he has now become the biggest benefactor of this wet race so far. He's up 11 places in the 9th place, hunting down Uncle Ben's Rice. And Uncle Ben's Rice, he's also trying to work his way around El Magico. Is that Jocko?
Yeah, just Jacko.
Jacko. Okay, yeah, that's Jacko. And that's actually really surprising. I've heard a lot about Jacko and how quick he is. So to see him struggling this much in the wet, I'm really glad that he's able to kind of get that Superman mentality out of him and actually get in the grid of it and to earn his spot in here in this race.
Yeah, exactly. That he's found a little bit of misfortune in the last couple of weeks, especially last weekend or on Wednesday with Hungary. He got spun out twice in the F2 race, and as well, I believe, got spun out in Div 1 last night. So he's found a little bit of misfortune. He's got some lady luck coming his way, but he's actually really under pressure from Uncle Ben's here. He's right on his tail. They're trying to come out of what is turn 14 out of Magus and Beckett's there, and taking a little bit of a look into 15, but nothing going there.
Yeah, Uncle Ben, he's being really patient. He's saving his DRS, most definitely. He's waiting for the next turn. Definitely deploy that, get the overtake on Jocko, and move up into 7th.
Now, there's not many drivers in the Midwest that can put Jacko under fire like what Uncle Ben's doing right now. Maybe Jacko doesn't have a wet weather setup for this race, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in that. But it actually looks like Impossible Bacon gets JC Blackley up at the front there, as Impossible must have caught JC. Now Impossible's the 3rd spot in the podium. Speaking of JC, he's just moved up to Division 1, as unfortunately Honda walks away from the Midwest F1 League after winning what is like 6 out of 9 races. So he's just kind of what's the word? He's politely said that the league is just not at his caliber quite yet.
Yeah, he's saying later, scrubs.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I just smoke all of you. The only person that can keep up with him is Mystic Joker, and sometimes Mystic Joker is just unable to, as he's 1-2. He finished 1st, and Mystic's finished 2nd over half of the races this year.
Oh no, Jocko going a little bit wide into that turn. Now Uncle Ben's right alongside him, coming into what would be a normal DRS zone, but Jocko really hanging in there, though. He's giving him a run for it. He's not going to let him have that position. He's really going to make Uncle Ben's Rice earn it.
Looks like Jocko's got the better straight line speed there. He was able to actually pull away from Uncle Ben a little bit, and I think that's kind of why Jocko's held him back. But Uncle Ben's going to send it on the inside Jacko gives the room, but Uncle Ben just wasn't close enough, and it's actually Hash that jumps right in onto that battle there, and Hash actually picks up a position. He was waiting for Uncle Ben to make a mistake. He somewhat did, and Hash kind of went through into 8th place, but Uncle Ben re-overtakes coming around turn 18, the final turn, back down the pit straight, and Hash is in 9th once again.
Yeah, this is the last thing Uncle Ben wants. He's trying to overtake Jocko right now, get up and improve his stock, and then now he has Hash right behind him, putting him under pressure. Now he's got to defend from both positions and also attack at the same time, and it's wet.
It just seems like Uncle Ben's got more downforce on his setup. Jacko's got him on the straight line speed fairly easily, and Uncle Ben just can't find somewhere in one of the technical sections to overtake Jacko to pull away, because he's come out of a couple of the long straights far better on pace than Jacko, but Jacko's just able to just drag him to the next turn, and Uncle Ben just doesn't have anything to combat with, as he does not have the pace as Jacko does.
Yeah, and crucially, I just took a look at the penalties, and Uncle Ben actually has a 3-second penalty, so this is probably why we're seeing so much tenacity out of him to get by Jacko, as he knows he has to get by him. He's kind of being held up a little bit. I think Uncle Ben definitely has a lot more pace in his car. That he wants to get around Jacko, get that 3-second gap, and just try to nullify that as much as he can.
We've actually got a battle for 4th place now. JC Blackley ran off a little wide in turn 13, kind of cutting the grass in turn 14, and is now right under fire for 4th place, as well as young DJ is putting Hotspot under some pressure, but Hotspot's able to pull away in the pit straight.
Yeah, unfortunately for JC Blackley, he's down to only 16-17% of the ERS. He's been deploying it really hard to try and make sure that he can remain in that 4th place position. But yeah, he doesn't have the pace. He's so loose. Oh, he's in the grass now.
He saves it. Hotspot pushed him out wide a little bit.
Yeah, Jocko's right alongside him, though. He's really wanting that overtake. Jocko really patient. Definitely let loose a little bit right there. Just gonna wait for his opportunity. Uncle Ben's Rice putting a lot. Yeah, he's put a whole bunch of pressure on Jocko as well. So Uncle Ben's Rice, he's got a little bit of a gap to Random Serious. Actually, is overtaking Hash. So good thing for Uncle Ben for Random Serious to put his nose in with Hash and get a little bit of a fight going on there too.
So JC Blackley just can't seem to time this Maggots and Beckett's quite well. Finds himself off a little bit once again onto the grass of turn 14. Uncle Ben gets a pretty good run, as well does Random Serious. He's in the slipstream of Uncle Ben. He's going to try and go to the outside line. He's going to be able to stick it, and Uncle Ben's got the inside line, but that's going to turn to the outside of the next turn. Random Serious does slot in behind. Hash is kind of in the party, as well as he just stems it right down the inside line. Random Serious, unfortunately, having to cut away Uncle Ben's racing line as Hash tries to go for a switchback into the final turn. Uncle Ben gives the room and slots back into 9th place as Random Serious getting the position, as well as Jacko and JC Blackley, as JC does a little bit of a drift around turn 1, and now Jacko gets a far better run out of turn 2. Now into the turn 3, JC sends it a little bit deep. Jacko is trying to stay with him here. Oh, a little bit of a tap from Random Serious, nothing too crazy there. I was going to say nothing too serious, but I stopped myself because of the name. And now Hash once again right beside Uncle Ben, as he's got the outside line. He's got the pace advantage. A little bit of a tap from Hash there as he tries to weave his way into 9th place, which he does so with Uncle Ben not wanting to get too deep into a fight there. But it's actually Random Serious going a little bit wide, as this is some crazy racing here right now, man. Damn.
Yeah, Hash definitely. Oh, he gave him a little luck tap on the rear tires. Is Hash? He's got a nose for Random Serious right now. He's definitely won that overtake.
You know, I got to give the head nod to Uncle Ben's Rice for the car livery here. I dig that. If you're able to peek away into the broadcast view on Uncle Ben's livery, I gotta say, I give my hat nod to that. Kenny's opened up a 10-second gap between first and second. Of course, he does have a penalty there. One being of 3 seconds, and none to Monkey Mafia. Impossible Bacon's trying to hunt down Monkey Mafia, the monk father, as some would say. But Hash is trying to get alongside Random Serious around the final turn here, and a little bit of a tap between the two drivers. Random Serious is going to pull away, and it's got the lead into turn 1. Uncle Ben doesn't want to get too over aggressive here, and it's actually Hotspot that loses control around turn 2. And Random Serious gets an overtake on Jacko as well, and now Jacko's under pressure from Hash as well. Hash is under pressure from Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben did get alongside him for a second there into turn 4, but pulling away Hash does.
Yeah, Hotspot unfortunately just picked up another penalty to bring his total to 11 seconds. He's definitely not having a good time right now.
Who is that? Oh, Hotspot. Ouch. Yeah, that really does hurt. So JC Blackley still leads this conga line here that runs from 5th all the way down to 9th. We're currently right on the 9th place driver, Uncle Ben, as he's been seemingly trying to work on Hash for quite a few laps here. As well as Hash, you can say, it's trying to work on Jacko.
Yeah, I moved my eyes a little bit more close to the front. We have Impossible Bacon only 1.2 seconds away from the back of Monkey Mafia. He's pushing to get behind Monkey Mafia and get a possible overtake here on lap 11 of 13. He knows that he only has 2 laps, and he's definitely made that gap. Now it's only 0.7 seconds. Got to get a good run out of this corner, get that DRS going.
Ooh, that's a pretty livery too.
Yeah, actually, fun fact: me and Bacon, we both participate in a custom constructors championship league. They race on Wednesdays, and me and him both made that library together. We're teammates in that league.
Ah, cool stuff. There you go. Yeah, you see that a lot here, is that a lot of these drivers come from other leagues, because one guy finds their way into this league, plays it for a bit, and obviously enjoys it to the point where he wants to bring in other drivers who, will enjoy it as well. And it's Random Serious working a move on JC Blackley, and JC Blackley sends it back to the inside line. Random Serious concedes, somewhat goes for a little bit of switchback, tries to get alongside him, but JC Blackley blocks that way as well, and Random Serious is right tight on the gearbox of that fluorescent rainbow car.
Random Serious got a little bit loose. That back end stepped away from him.
So how long have you been league racing there, Valentine?
As long as I've been in this league, actually. It's my first one, period.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought I heard you say that, but then you said that you're in another league, so you must have joined that recently as well.
Yeah, I actually joined that I think it was Wednesday. This past Wednesday was the race, and Impossible, he DM'd me, asked me if I wanted to be his partner in it, and the time was able to work out, and joined up, and we had a blast. Our first race, I believe we came in, we were both in the top 10. It was definitely a good constructors day.
There you go, good stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice to have a partner in Impossible Bacon, as he's putting immense pressure on Monkey Mafia, just waiting for him to make a mistake in these wet conditions.
Random Serious does get an overtake on JC Blackley, and oh no, it looks like JC Blackley spun out around turn 2. Yeah, he's picking himself back up. And he goes all the way down into 10th, so back on board with Impossible Bacon. The battle for second. Monkey Mafia is a wily competitor. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to defend Impossible here. Wile E, Coyote, evil genius, as they say, as the famous quote goes. But Hotspot disqualified. So
yeah, he had almost 20 seconds of penalties to his total right before I moved back up to Impossible Bacon. He was not having a good time. He was all over the track. Just couldn't find the grip with these intermediates, yeah.
Must not have had the setup for it. Struggling all the way through. Impossible has only got 1 lap to go. Kenny comes over the line. Kenny sitting with only 3 seconds worth of penalties, so that is not really going to come and bite him on the butt at the end, as 12 seconds separate himself and Monkey Mafia, and only a half a second between Monkey Mafia and Impossible. Only 17 more turns to go here in Britain, or sorry, 18, now 17 as he just turned 1, for impossible to get an overtake done on Monkey Mafia. We'll have to see if he's got it in him today, but it looks like Jinnit gets an overtake on Knuckles for 13th place all the way down in the back of the grid. The best pawns, we haven't heard much from him today. Usually he can find himself in the top 10 from time to time. Not one of those days here in Britain.
Yeah,
so
something I actually just noticed I'm surprised to see is VTech back there in 18th. They're at the back, 10 seconds behind the best pawns. Definitely not the pace I'm used to seeing from him. I've raced him a couple of times. I had to wait several laps behind up in his gearbox to get an overtake possibility on him. Definitely, he's already had one stop. I assume he picked up some damage, and probably not his day, but just definitely someone to keep an eye on throughout the Division 3, Division 2s for him to be moving on up.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise as well. We actually got quite a few pretty decent drivers in this grid today, which is good to see. There's a lot of quality. Not saying that not everyone is quality, but you know, there's better drivers, and then there's not as good drivers. But Jinnit works his way into 12th, getting an overtake on Kaz. No penalties to Jinnit, but unfortunately, looks like
Kenny making contact with the wall across the line.
He does that all the time. Fifth, Jacko able to hold off Hash for 6th, Hash 7th, Uncle Ben 8th, Money Matt, 9th, JC looking to finish 10th, unless there's some sort of penalties. No, they seem to be even. AE Daltonian is going to come over 11th. Actually, he finishes 12th with Jinnit coming over with the penalties. Going down to 13th, AE Daltonian is as Knuckles comes over with 12th position. Kaz into 15th with N1 Twit. I think that's it. Is 14th. The best pawn's currently sitting 16th. I think it's going to finish that way or end that way.
That's in it to win it. That's him.
In it
to win. Oh yeah, I'm assuming every other variation was taken, so he just kind of went with that.
In it. Oh, I get. Okay, the TW is an abbreviation. Gotcha. It to win it.
As I said, the VTech was lacking pace. The best pawns had 9 seconds of penalties, and VTech closed up just enough to take that 16th spot away from him with only 7/10 of a second to spare.
Oh, Spaceman got disqualified.
At that point, does it matter?
He completely cut Maggots and Beckett's. I don't know if you're on board with him, but he just drove straight through all the turns.
He just wanted the day over with.
Exactly that. Not a care in the world. But yeah, race 1 in the books there. Solid stuff. I gotta say that was a fun race through and through. Nice race indeed. For Anomaly, what kind of direct relief charity 2018? That's a cool little emote.
That's my Twitch name.
There you go.
Yeah, I changed it from Valentine a while ago. I kind of got on this kick, so we'll just leave it there.
Alright, we'll leave it at that. But we're going down the order here. We got Kenny finishing first, getting, I think, his first win in Season 2 entirely. He might be wrong, he might have picked one in F2. But a W from him. Monkey Mafia getting another podium. Possible Bacon finishing third, not being able to overtake Monkey Mafia. There, Young DJ in 4th, Random Series 5th, Jacko 6th, Hash 7th, Uncle Ben in 8th, Money Matt 9th, JC finishing 10th, Jinnit in the first of the bottom half of the bottom 10 of the. Oh my god, that was absolutely completely terribly worded there, but we'll go Jinnit, Knuckles, A. Daltonian in it to win it. Kaz, VTech, the best pawns, ZGS getting a DNF, Spaceman disqualifying, as well as Hotspot disqualifying with all those penalties.
Yeah, unlucky day for Janet though. He pulled out the fastest lap, almost an entire second faster than Kenny. He definitely had the pace today too. Must have gotten caught up in traffic just a little bit too much. Couldn't make the crucial overtakes in the beginning and just probably got stuck, but wanted to definitely point that out.
Love getting punted, trying to get out of the way. Well, Spaceman, maybe you should get out of the way even more.
Yeah, get most out of the way.
Yeah, Spaceman. Come on.
Speaking of getting punted, VTech should know all about that shit, and shouldn't he?
There you go.
Yeah, me and VTech had a little bit of a kerfuffle during Russia. We immediately messaged each other after the race. We cleared it up. His game glitched, and not to mention it was also wet. So not even gonna lie, I saw him really close to me in my rear view, and I tend to have a tendency to brake a little bit early compared to the other guys. So I kind of almost expected to get punted. That's kind of why I didn't go all the way off track as much as I did.
I gotcha. Yeah, shit happens when you party naked.
Yeah, it really does.
We're just waiting to get the lobby fired up here in Vietnam. What's your thought on this track?
I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts. I've only raced this track a handful of times. I particularly enjoy it just because of how fluid you have to be this entire track. There is not a single part of it that you cannot be completely focused on where your turn is going to be, where your braking zone is, to not lock up, to not late brake and completely take yourself off into a gravel trap for sure. It's a tough track. Definitely not one of my favorites, that's for sure. I'm glad I'm up here in the booth with you rather than being that down there in the cockpit of one of those cars.
Yeah, it can be a little hairy from time to time with how close some of those walls get, especially in Sector 3. There's so many turns with such tight walls.
Yeah, I would definitely rather do this than Monaco, though, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Monaco's still the worst track to race on.
Yeah, it's I definitely prefer Baku over the street circuits. And then for me, for driving, I guess I'll go Baku, Singapore, Vietnam, and then Monaco. Monaco is just terrible, or just terrible to drive, in my opinion. It's just not that real fun. But you
Yeah,
know,
definitely not in traffic.
yeah,
If you're by yourself, you can kind of just wiggle your way around and you'll be okay. But as soon as you get a car around you, you might as well either give the position up or hope they mess up before they get to you.
yeah, I mean exactly that. It's on time trials. I guess you can have fun in Monaco, but when you throw in a couple other cars, things get real sketchy, especially with how wide cars are today. But anywho, Vietnam we are, as we just mentioned that, on to our last race of the Friday night series. This is our last week as well of our week of racing that we so lovely provide you on a week-to-week basis in the Midwest F1 League. We're over halfway through Season 2 now, as this season has somewhat flown by, for me, personally, as it's just kind of, I don't know, the week goes by quick, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's time to broadcast today, and then broadcast, then the weekend, then work, and then back to broadcasting. It's this crazy little rotation that I found myself in, and it just makes the weeks fly by, as well as what has Season 2 done. But we now have 4 divisions in the League Racing Series, so we are working our way up to some solid parity throughout those divisions, and once we do, the championship battles as well through the constructors and drivers is just going to get tighter with each season, and the relegation battle is going to get even harder with each season as well, so that's something we're really looking forward to here. But with that being said, we've got 10 or so seconds here left until the countdown. You think you can handle the pre-race, or the race here? The race start, that is.
I believe I will leave that to you. I am not fully prepared, and with only 1 second left, I believe I'll leave that to you, my guy.
Okay, sounds good. Oh Christ, here we go. Oh, it looks like Impossible's actually up at the start. I can't tell who's in second there nor third. But it's Kaz and Random Serious, so we'll have to see what he's able to do. Early on,
Yeah,
Money Matt drops down with In It to Win It, currently trying to move around, and oh no, Kaz absolutely loses control into the turn, and we have quite a bit of I'm not sure what is going on here, but every driver is back on track. Random Series locks up into turn 2. Uncle Ben actually starts on the hards. Jacko on the soft, so he's going to look to try and get a quick overtake on Uncle Ben here pretty quick. Impossible still holding on to that lead. Hotspot in second, Money Matt in third. A couple of moves down the grid as Kaz has found himself back down in 11th after starting second. But it's actually Monkey Mafia shooting a little bit too deep into that turn. Hash now into 10th. Kenny gets an overtake. Kenny as well shoots that inside line onto A. Daltonian. A little bit of a love tap from Kaz as he passes Hash, and Monkey Mafia is now down in 8th. Kenny as well getting another overtake. Jacko does get the move done on Uncle Ben as he's trying to catch up. 2 Random Series, and there we go. We see Money Matt actually spin out there.
Yeah, he made a little bit of contact with Hotspot there going down the straight, and he had no choice. He made a little bit of contact towards the front, and his front left took a little bit of a dive towards the wall. There was nothing he could do. His car just went.
And I can tap, and a little bit too overzealous there, and Jacko is well in 18th. Or sorry, that's on. I'm on Jacko's POV. Uncle Ben in 18th, Jacko in 17th. A little bit of a dive bomb from Uncle Ben on that one. Not sure if there was the room there. Oh, and JC Blackley.
Oh, JC Blackley out of the race, yeah.
So it's a full-on safety car as well. So we'll take a quick peek at the tire compounds here, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, as Hash, Uncle Ben, Knuckles, Money Matt, they all dive into the pits. And Hash, he put on some hards. Knuckles and Money Matt, they both got on mediums. Uncle Ben's right, he decided to put on the hards as well.
Got a safety car. Oh no, with the safety car up. Let's check out what's happening in the world of the National Hockey League today. As me being Canadian, I am thoroughly addicted to hockey. So Rangers get a 6-2 victory over the Bruins here. Wild are up 3 buzz on the Kings with 10 minutes to go in the third period. And the Avalanche got a 1-0 lead with 2 minutes into the second period. And that's all we got for this evening. But are you much of a hockey guy there, Valentine?
Not too much. I know the basics of hockey as far as how to play, but the only person I know besides Wayne Gretzky or the Mighty Ducks, don't even try asking.
What was Sidney Crosby?
Familiar, but could not tell you anything about him.
Okay, what state are you from?
I'm from Indiana.
Indiana. Alright, yeah. Alright, okay. Let's see here. Oh, well, you're in the central. You're air quote central, but
air quote, yeah.
Yeah. You've got plenty of hockey around where you're from.
I was more into the football myself.
Does Indiana have nothing to do with hockey there? Because I know Michigan's pretty big into hockey.
Here.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, what's the Indiana Cornhuskers, right?
Your guess would be way better than mine, not gonna lie.
For your college team.
College team? No, the Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers? Who are the Cornhuskers?
That would be...
Nebraska.
I know this. Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Indiana. Indiana. What the... How can I... There we go. What? How do I... When did I lose my ability to spell? Okay, there we go. All right, Indiana University. I gotcha. Okay. So what? You're a big college football guy then?
I am more well versed in college football than I am hockey.
Yeah. Okay.
I had my time period of enjoying the NCAA football games for a couple of years, so I know about the Big Ten and the SEC and pretty much about it.
Man, there's just so much going on with that, with just college sports. It's unbelievable. If you're just like an outsider, I mean, I'm big into sports, so I like know a lot about it and whatnot. I mean, college football, like the big games, I'll tune in for and whatnot. The players and specifics and all that stuff, I'm not really into that. Even when the NFL draft comes around, I just kind of see them when they're in the NFL. But like college football, college basketball, even college hockey, like it's just so huge. It's unbelievable, and it's just college. It's not even the pros yet, but it's just massive. It's just kind of fun to think about.
It really is, though.
You had a little bit of Bluetooth lag there. What'd you say? Sorry.
I'm just saying that I agree. There is definitely just so much to college. I would say almost as much as the NFL as far as college football is concerned, with how many players there are and how much more goes into organizing those kinds of tournaments.
Oh, totally. Even if not more, gets put into it. Because there's way more college teams than there are pro teams. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And like, if anything, there's so much more emotion in college sports than there in a way than there is in pro sports, because like these are just like air quotes kids, like just like kind of living their dream, like in a way. I mean, obviously they're not in the pros yet, but they're one step away from it, and they're they're the big guys on campus. They're the guys that are the D1 athletes, and they're there for a reason, and they're still kids, so there's like mistakes and whatnot, and the game can be more exciting than the pro, where it's a lot more structured.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more backstory that goes into the NCAA than there can be in the NFL.
I mean, the NFL is entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's crazy for sure, but it's just there's so much more youth emotion and whatnot into college. It makes it a lot different than your normal NFL experience.
Okay, and to get our eyes back on the action, I believe it looks like the safety car is ending this lap, and we have a few penalties. We have Jenna Twinna, the Best Pawns, VTech, Jocko, and Hash, all with penalties. As we come around the start straight, waiting for Impossible Bacon to make the move to start, and away we go. We are back racing.
Hotspot misses his braking point a little bit and taps back around him serious and loses a little bit of his wing, so he's going to be hindered from this point out. We got Gina Twinna trying to work on Eddie Daltonian into the slipstream. He got the outside line. He has the outside line and has the move done as well into fourth place. Eddie Daltonian slips in behind as Vespons is right tucked in back behind him as well. Kenny throwing on some fresh mediums in seventh place. As it stands, VTech back in eighth. 4-lap old soft, so I'm not sure if he's going to ride those things to the end. But as well, Jacko on 1-lap old medium, so he was able to get a pit. Kenny is looking to get right alongside the Best Pawns, but the Best Pawns actually looks like he's got the straight line speed. Hash kind of weirdly throws on some hards here. I'm not sure if that's the best strategy, as he's going to be able to get out-braked by Kaz. He goes a little bit off the rest there as well. Uncle Ben gets overtaken by Money Matt. We'll see if Uncle Ben can make a move back into the turn, which caused this entire safety car, and he opts out because he knows that he did something wrong earlier and he needs to be punished for it. But so I get distracted. But what are you seeing right now? Who do you think's sitting pretty here?
Well, I'm keeping my eyes up at the front, and Jenna Twinna moving up into the third spot, up into the podiums, up 14 places into third. He's only got a 4/10 seconds of gap to Impossible Bacon in first place. Definitely putting the pressure on him, looking to take an overtake really soon. And he gets a pretty good run out of that turn, but Impossible Bacon definitely deploying that ERS. Oh, but Random Serious on the inside, he has that line and gets the overtake done, but can he make it stick throughout the corner?
Yeah, he does a really good job there as well. Down the order, VTech is overtaken by Jacko, and Kenny does a move on the best pawns, moving up in the 5th place. But I'm going to keep my eye on Kenny. He's got the most fresh mediums here, and he seems to be working his way up the field. He's got A. Daltonian up, get ahead of him, and Spaceman crashes out and drops down the order, and another safety car. So this is going to bring them all tight back to each other, and Random Serious is going to start with the lead once we're back at it.
Yeah, I'm on board with ZGS right now, waiting for him to pass the spot that Spaceman unfortunately DNFs out of this race.
Okay, so is Indiana considered Midwest? I guess it is, eh?
In America, yeah, very Midwest. Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, yeah, Midwest.
I gotcha. Okay, I think the other guys are North Dakota. The guys who run the main leaders of the league. But here we go. We see a lot of drivers pitting. So Kenny's going to take first place with all these drivers going into the pit. Hash as well staying out, so he's going to go up into second. Looks like Money Matt and Uncle Ben also staying out, so they're going to move right up. Bunch of drivers throwing on some softs. Random Serious leading that Arrowhead up there as Young DJ and In It to Win It as well. Tried to move up, but looks like In It's only able to get 9th. So this is kind of perfect, it being called Midwest F1 League, for you to join then.
It really is. That's kind of what kind of piqued my interest. I actually did join, I tried joining with a European league before I was given the invitation to this one. I did the sign up. I did this couple of time trial runs for them. Didn't get to do a race. I believe it was at that time that Pork Chops was the one that gave me the invite, and he said that it was a U.S.-based league. The times were at 9:30 p.m. That kind of works a little bit better than my schedule. The races for UK time, I was having to do at 1, 2, 3 o'clock, and I'm usually kind of busy around this time, so I don't think I was going to be able to race a whole lot anyway. But I'm really glad that Pork Chops reached out to me, invited me here. I'm having a blast. I'm loving the structure of the league, how official it kind of makes everything feel. Definitely love the commentary. I enjoy, as soon as I'm doing the races, I'm almost always going on the Twitch or YouTube, wherever it's streamed. I'm looking at the playthrough, seeing, what happened where, seeing where I made my mistakes, trying to learn for the next race, and to move forward and get stronger throughout the season.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's always kind of cool looking back at what this was all this time ago, because the first race back in season 1 was all the way on July 29th, funny enough, which was my birthday that day, so which is how it's so easy to remember for me. But looking at it, and I joined the Discord as well as Stat, our other Div 1 commentator. I joined, I think, 2 days or the day before we went live to commentate, and so Stat and I probably had like a day of talking to each other before we got into it all, and then just kind of from that, like, little like, hey, you know what, why not? Because initially I was looking for a league on Reddit, and then Pork Chops had a post saying that he is looking for a commentator, and I asked my buddy, like, do you think I should do this? Like, why not? And he's like, yeah, go give her shit. And I'm like, alright. And that's just kind of how it fell into my lap, and then we've just continually increased with the F2 series, then adding a second division, and then getting the division structures, and just kind of continually progressing and making it more proper as like rules come in place and here and there, and the steward system, and it's run so I don't want to say flawlessly, because there is points where it's kind of like, oh well, this didn't work out, but it's run with care, pretty much, and a lot of the guys put a lot of time into it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I was a witness to that during the draft. I was honestly a little upset that Ferrari didn't chose me. I expressed my interest quite a bit in joining that team, but as soon as I saw what went into the decision to take me for the draft, it just kind of made me feel, a lot more appreciative of the position that I was in. That they did watch the showcase races. They did take note of, it wasn't just about where I finished. It was, how I raced. And from that, I got to meet, Chunky Corgi and Possible Bacon. I got to meet you as well, and I'm really enjoying my time here, and I'm hoping to look forward and definitely grow my position in the league.
There you go. Yeah, Div 2 is next up for you, right? Yeah, you just said earlier that you had your move up into Div 3. Or am I talking out of my ass right now?
Oh no, you're right. I made my move up to D3 earlier today.
It was yesterday, getting a 5th place finish. Well done. There you go.
Yeah, I was actually really proud of that. I started the race, I believe I qualified in 4th, and I got some wing damage pretty early, and then I got the spin out from VTEC. I think I caused a collision or some wing damage to a Renault. I haven't watched the replay recently enough to really keep my eyes on that, but we can get back on that later as we return to action here with Kenny, the winner of the last race, moving up into the top spot, really getting the benefit of that safety car on those 5-lap-old mediums, holding off Jocko, who is putting immense pressure right on him as well.
Yeah, 1-2 right there with Kenny and Jacko, especially Haas. It's going to be tough for Random Series back down in 7th to make all those overtakes to get near them, even though being on those fresh softs. It's going to be a very tall order here. His first customer is going to be young DJ, so we'll have to see if he's going to be able to dispatch him fairly quickly here as young DJ gets a little bit of oversteer. Random Series as well, trying to stay in that slipstream. Onto the ERS he goes. He's very slowly catching young DJ. You may be able to get alongside him into that hairpin of turn 11, and yes, he is alongside young DJ. Defends the inside line, but Random gets a clean pass, and Random actually, it looks like he taps the back of Uncle Ben, but not too much going in it there.
Yeah, I think he actually helped Uncle Ben and gave him a little bit of a better run into that corner, getting the overtake on Money Matt. Oh no, he went a little bit deep, almost made contact with the wall, but comes away clean as now all of a sudden Money Matt being pressured by a Random Serious and Impossible Bacon right back. Oh no, as Impossible Bacon gets overtaken by Jennett, making his way back up to the front.
That'll be a good battle between Bacon and Jennett. Both of those are very skilled drivers there. Random Series going for a switchback on Money Matt, looking to get alongside of him in the final turn, which he does, and it's going to be a drag race, but it's actually Jennett to win it, who gets a far better run out of the final turn. Money Matt goes to defend the inside line, and Jennett sends it all the way around the outside and gets the double move down the pit straight. And now Random Series pulls himself right alongside Money Matt, and Money Matt is going to have to concede the position, as well as he might have to concede a position to Impossible Bacon, and it looked like he does. Impossible able to edge him out now into 7th place. Those softs are really coming through now.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous move by Impossible Bacon. Made the turn as perfect as he could. Didn't make contact. Made it really clean. Really nice overtake.
Hash is going to be under pressure here from Uncle Ben's Rice. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to hold him off into turn 11. Looks like Hash is able to pull away fairly decently here on 7-lap-old hards. No DRS this lap. That's going to come open next lap, so he doesn't have to worry about that quite yet. But what he does have to worry about is those 3 drivers on the soft, with that being Jennett, Random, and Impossible. Jacko's actually worked himself back close to Kenny, but yeah, sorry, continue.
I was just going to say, Jennett making use of that second safety car, getting that pit stop on those fresh softs. He's putting immense pressure on Uncle Ben's Rice. Uncle Ben's being a little bit loose, and Jennett with a great line as Uncle Ben goes wide, but now he is making his move up the field, immediately going from Uncle Ben's Rice onto the back end of Hash, putting pressure on him. As they go onto the main straight, Hash doesn't get as good as a run.
Hash able to defend around the inside line going at the outside into turn 2. Jinnet's going to try and switch back, but it looks like Hash kind of blocked that off. Uncle Ben now got DRS on Jinnet. He's got actually a pretty good run. He might be able to make a move back here on Jinnet, but it looks like Jinnet is able to pull away. Uncle Ben doesn't want to shoot that line. Random Series slotting right in behind, and Jinnet's going to try and cut the turn. Hash is right beside him. Hash is going to be under real trouble here. She's going to be the only one of this little conga line to not get DRS. So he might get actually potentially overtaken by both Uncle Ben as well as Jinnet, as Jinnet already has the pass. And now here comes Uncle Ben as Hash tries to defend the inside line, and Uncle Ben's going to send it down, braking at the same pace as Hash, but Hash just can't defend. And now Random Serious as well, right tight alongside, but Impossible Bacon is also working Random Serious. Random Serious dives it down into the turn and hits a little bit of Hash there, and I think Random Serious concedes the position knowing that he did did something wrong there, as he as well did what Uncle Ben's Rice did earlier, where he kind of sent it in a little bit of an area where you shouldn't have.
Yeah, when you're falling that close and you kind of rely a little bit more on those corner lines, you don't always see how fast the red pops up on you, and sometimes it's an unfortunate accident from trying to late brake. Got sent a little bit too inside, but recognized what happened, kept it as clean as he could, and now he's right on the back of Impossible Bacon and Uncle and Hash, just waiting for both of them for that fight to kind of break up, and there he goes, making his move on Impossible Bacon on the inside.
That was a lovely little move. I didn't even see that in the cards there. But now he might actually have a run on Hash now into turn 6, and the Hash pushes him right along the wall here, but Random just doesn't give way, and Hash breaks late and kind of misses the point a little bit and somewhat blocks off Random Serious. But Random and Hash are going to go wheel to wheel around turn 9. Random's going to get DRS, and I think Hash might get overtaken by Impossible as well as Random Serious here.
Yeah, Hash on those 9-lap-old hards, but as hard as he's defending, Random Serious, oh wow, Hash way too deep. Random Serious gets the easy switchback move on those 4-lap-old softs, as he is now overtaken by Impossible Bacon as well. Hash really struggling on those hards.
And Impossible as well doing a switchback, and Hash kind of blocks off Impossible's line there.
Yeah, that was just a racing incident. Hash lost the back end a little bit, unfortunately slid into Impossible Bacon, but recognized the mistake, got the car back under control, and was able to take the rest of the corner with Impossible Bacon pretty clean. But I think he recognizes by now that defending that hard, it's going to cause a little bit more issues, as Impossible Bacon gets DRS and a really good run out of that turn. Hash defending on the inside, Impossible Bacon going to the outside, trying to make the move stick, and he does very efficiently. Hash recognizing that those softs on Impossible Bacon's car definitely going to make him a little bit more harder to defend in those corners. Good racing.
It looks like A. Daltonian and Best Pawns are battling a little bit there, and the Best Pawns end up smacking the wall through that battle. But both drivers are trying to catch these two ahead here, as Hash does a good job of trying to outbrake Impossible Bacon, but a little bit of a tap for Impossible Bacon as he goes through is going to drop Hash back. And I think that just may be the end of that battle there, as Impossible should be able to pull away here. But look at Jinnet. Jinnet's worked himself right into the battle for first place here, as he's right in behind Kenny, as Jacko is able to overtake Kenny going into turn 11 there. But Jacko, of course, has that 5-second penalty, so that might come back to bite him in the end here. But Jinnet is sitting fairly pretty here on the softs, but he's got to overtake 2 cars here. Actually, he's only got to overtake 1, with Jacko is going to fall in behind him with the penalty at the end of the race.
Yeah, Jinnet looking really strong on those softs. He's set a fastest lap of 1:37.6. That's 1.3 seconds faster than Jacko's 1:38.9. And there's a yellow flag as Monkey Mafia getting loose, making contact with the wall, some obvious wing damage as cars fly into the stands for Souvenir. Money Matt putting pressure on Monkey. I think Monkey is going to have to cede this position. Oh, he's making inside dive on Impossible Bacon, as Bacon stays on the outside, keeps it clean.
So Kenny looking for a double podium here. Should be able to get it. 9 seconds separates him and Uncle Ben's race, barring any some sort of unforeseen circumstances here. Jinnit is looking to be in line for the win here. Jacko's got to do quite a bit to increase that gap. Uncle Ben gets overtaken by Random Sirius for 4th place.
Yeah, Jocko on 10 lap old hards and Jinnit with a 6 lap old sauce. He's out of DRS, but deploying that DRS as Jocko is only at 6% of DRS as well. Jinnit probably looking for the switchback. Got to get the power down.
Ooh, Uncle Ben's actually coming back at Random Series into the turn 11. Uncle Ben sends it around the outside and does a really good job of getting solid traction out of the turn. That forces Random Series back into 5th place here, and Random's going to have to make a move in an awkward spot on track. Jinnit wants to get it done on track as well, as he's right in behind Jacko. He knows that this win is his. All he's got to do is just hold off Jinnit. But Random Series is trying to get around Uncle Ben's. He's running out of turns here. Uncle Ben is doing a good job of defending. Jinnit comes over the line for 1st place. Kenny in 2nd. And oh no, Uncle Ben goes wide in the second last turn. And Random Series is going to come over with 4th place. Ouch.
Yeah,
oh, that hurts.
DGS. Oh no, Impossible Bacon, what happened? He just went so slow in the last corner. GGS, he left the door wide open for him and took 8th place from him.
Oh.
I think that about sums up the day for Kaz, unfortunately. He'd rather forget this one.
Oh, that was funny. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, that wall's pretty sturdy, ain't it?
Yeah, that wall's not going to go anywhere. And I think Kaz knew that, and he picked a good spot to hit that wall. But yeah.
Yeah, we call that the express lane.
Yeah, there you go. But there you go, a solid and well-earned win from Jinnit there. He worked real hard and made up quite a bit of ground after going onto the softs, being the one driver who was able to work himself back up the field after pitting after that second safety car. Jacko getting another podium here on Friday, and Kenny getting a double podium this evening, as he's finding a little bit of form lately, as hopefully he can carry that over into league or in the league racing series on Thursday night. We'll kind of quickly run through the order once again. We got Jinnit, Kenny, Jacko as your podium, Random Series, Uncle Ben's Race in 4 and 5, the best pawn 6, A Daltonian 7, ZGS 8, Impossible Bacon getting an unlucky 9th, Money Matt in 10th, Monkey Mafia 11th, Knuckles in 12th, VTech 13th, Hash 14th, In It to Win It in 15th, Kaz in 16th, and the DNFs going to Hotspot, Young, DJ, Spaceman, as well as JC Blackley. But what'd you make of that Vietnamese race?
It was definitely full of action, that's for sure. Plenty of great on-track battles. Jinnit to win it, coming from the 17th spot in the grid for that win. And also Jacko coming from the 15th spot. So the top 3 definitely took advantage of the chaos during that race to move themselves up into the podium positions. Unfortunately for my guy, Impossible Bacon, he had a kind of a rough day there at the end. He was definitely up into the higher spots, had a chance at the podium, but just kind of let it get away from him. Congratulations to the podiums, Jinnit, Kenny, and Jocko. Definitely a fun race to watch, and I hope to do this again soon.
Yeah, maybe sometime soon we'll have you back in the booth. I'm not sure if anyone is going to be in Friday, but if not, I'll be sure to DM you. But I got to give a little head nod to the best pawns, as he started 20th and finished 6th, so a solid 14 positions gained from him. So very good makeup there in Vietnam. But yes, that is it for us here in Vietnam. There's no more races this evening for the Midwest F1 League, but be sure to come back on Wednesday as we go once again back live with our F2 series as well. If you missed any of the races, you can check them up on our YouTube channel, and while you're there, shoot us a follow. And as well, if you have Twitter or Instagram, go check us out there, as we post on most of the standings, as well as race videos or race photos and as well. So if you got a Twitter and Instagram, go shoot us a follow. That'd be much appreciated. But like I said, there's no more racing for us this week. We are done. We are on to the weekend, and be sure to have a good one at that. If you have anything left to say there, Valentine, let it all out. Wish these people a good weekend.
I believe you said it all. I wish everyone a happy weekend. Hope you enjoyed this week's races. Going to be coming back next week really strong. Definitely tune in. It's going to be some good action.
That it will be, is what we try and provide you here in the Midwest F1 League, as which is what we did here today, as we had a couple of very good races, and I am sure as heck happy and excited for what is to come in the future here. But it is a good stepping stone into the weekend. But like I said, have a good rest of your Friday, or if you're in Australia, have a good rest of your Saturday, or if you're in the UK, have a good morning of Saturday. So enjoy what is left of this lovely weekend, or what is the start of this lovely weekend. And like I said, we'll be seeing you very soon. Okay.